All right, Karen, you got any news for us or what?
Yes, I do. This is always a hard week to find news, because there are so many April Fool's articles on the internet this time
Oh,
of year.
yeah.
And given the type of news I deal with, it's not always obvious which ones are jokes.
Right.
But first, I do want to reassure everyone the Roswell Festival is set to happen this year in July. Last year, the festival was canceled due to coronavirus, but this year they appear confident that they can put on the festival safely. It makes up a significant amount of the business that the small New Mexico town sees, bringing in more than $1 million of revenue over the course of the weekend. Scientists have created programmable living machines that have memories of a sort and are able to assemble themselves into complex shapes and work as a swarm to interact with objects. These microscopic xenobots are composed of frog cells and are the newest iteration of a new class of organic robot that may one day revolutionize healthcare. Potential applications that may be closer in time include cleaning up microplastics in soil. And finally, French police have been investigating an international ring of Lego stealing toy thieves. In one case, 3 suspects were spotted stealing Legos from a Parisian toy store with the intent of selling them in Poland. Similar crimes occurred in Oregon last month after a US man stole $7,500 worth of Lego sets. Some Lego sets are limited editions, which has led to a thriving black market for collectors. Back to you, Chauncey.
All right, the Roswell Festival. We wanted to go to this. We wanted to go to this since the beginning.
We did, and it was canceled.
I don't see it happening this year. There's just too much going on, too much to catch up with. If anybody out there is like me, I assume that while you did hold on through the last, actually, I've been very lucky this year. A lot of people went through a lot worse hardships than I did financially. Luckily, I had some very committed clients, clients who were able to work throughout the year, and I got really lucky. But at the same time, I didn't get so lucky that I'm just picking it up from where I left off. I got a lot to do still, but
Right.
I want to go to this thing. I wonder if our buddy William is going to go to this because he goes every year. In fact, I think he went to the last one.
Yeah, well, as of right now, they're saying they're going to have it. Of course, last year they were also saying they were going to have it at this time. But I actually think it's like here in Washington, the vaccine is going to be available to everyone, like in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
And then it's just a matter of like whether supplies hold up in your area. I'm in a very populated area, so who knows when I'll be able to get it, but certainly before July. I imagine sometime in the next month or two I'll be able to get it. So, I don't know that I expect it'll definitely be smaller just because people have less cash on hand. But
right. But
I imagine it's quite possible.
The conspiracy community tends to lean a little conspiratory. So the vaccine might not.
That's true. Yeah, no, that's true.
I did get my vaccine. I got my vaccine last week.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Well, the Roswell Festival isn't just for like conspiracy types, though. It's a big tourist thing. Big for Roswell is a super tiny.
It's all relative, right? Yeah.
Right. It's like way out in the desert, and the Roswell Festival is kind of the thing that they do. But I think a lot of people come to that are just like, who live in the Southwest and just want to attend something fun.
Well, I'm happy about getting the vaccine for 2 reasons. I get to go on with my life. I get to see my kids more often, so on and so forth. Also, I get to not hear my wife research the possible side effects of the vaccine any longer. Which for the past week up until this thing, every day, all day, has been discussing the possible side effects and researching the side effects of vaccines. It has been insane. But I'm glad it's over. We got the J&J. If anybody's interested in what happened to us, well, keep wondering because I'm sick of talking about it.
Yeah, from the waist down, we can't see on the video, but he's actually a centaur now.
Yeah, totally. Centaur with with 4 octopus legs.
Yeah, exactly. So it just
Uh,
squishes around on the legs.
Programmable living machines. This is a wild one. The word swarm makes me uncomfortable. Organic robot makes me uncomfortable. And then the term living, I think is pretty vague, because living, I think, can really just be defined as takes energy and uses energy to procreate. I mean, is that,
These are made of cells that are alive. So I think in this case, living is not even particularly ambiguous. It's like, is a virus alive? That's kind of ambiguous. These are eukaryotic cells that have just been altered and arranged into basically these machines so that the cells, they behave totally differently than the original cells that they're made up of, but they're still cells, animal cells.
right? And
So,
when we say machine, what are they building gears out of this thing, or?
well, not exactly. They're more sort of programming them genetically, but they're
Seems safe.
They're like nanobots, just
Right.
made out of like cells rather than silicon or whatever. Which is, I don't know, every sentence in the article I read is kind of dystopian and
Yeah, every
scary.
sentence is the first sentence of a new sci-fi novel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like the concept is actually particularly scary, but it does raise questions about like, what can we do to people with programmable living nanobots? Could you make weapons with this? Could it become an out of control Grey Goo scenario? Like, it's unclear.
Yeah, I mean, they'd probably have to go out of their way to do it. A lot of people say this stuff about AI.
Sure,
AI, as
yeah.
soon as we create it, it's going to go wild and be all, not really. Not if you created your AI to run your vacuum. It will probably never get more creative than running your vacuum, because that's what it was made to do, Sure, if you gave it millions of, I don't know, but
Right.
I wonder if a stamina and interest in this is, as much as I said I wasn't going to discuss again, this coronavirus vaccine, the way that it works is different than every other vaccine. And they're now saying that we've always ignored it. And it was really only used in other countries for specific diseases like emergency situations. But now that we've gone through all this, we now have a new tool in our toolbox that we might start having the options of getting yearly shots to cure the common cold. The coronavirus is a cold, and we figured out how to create it for the common cold. The one thing we haven't been able to do for a long time, or at least the money wasn't in. So, I wonder what history is going to look back on this as, or if there'll be a history back on.
It's interesting. I feel like the most exciting, like, revolutionary things I've heard science-wise in the last 10 years have all been related to like the biological sciences.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, evolution for humanity is over. All evolution moving forward will be technological. It'll be transhumanism. It'll be that stuff. I mean, we will move faster than evolution does from here on out.
Well, sure. I mean, that's not hard. We move on the scale of centuries, not,
right. Well, now we're going to be working on the scales of decades, if not less, So
I hope so.
Yeah. And then finally, anybody who's watching the video can see behind me that I'm a nerd and I collect toys. And
indeed, that news article was for you, Chauncey.
Yeah, Transformers toys specifically. And I have a lot of interest in Legos. I've thought about buying some, and every time I go to toy store, Walmart, Target, and stuff like that, I end up like walking down the Lego aisle, and there's some like Transformers stuff, and I'm like, man, I should buy one of these. And I'm like, holy crap, this is expensive.
Right. Yeah. So there's actually a Lego black market now of like rare Legos that the company doesn't produce anymore, but collectors still want. So,
Do they have a
like,
website? Where can I get in touch with this to get some cheap Legos?
I don't know, go on the dark web, and between the listings for like prostitutes and heroin, it'll be Lego sets.
Luckily, I have both of those bookmarked.
Yeah,
I don't even know
this
what the dark web. I mean, I know what the dark web is, but I've never been to anything that even could be considered the dark web
right.
in my life.
I
Yeah.
don't
I don't
even
have any
really
special
know how it
browser. I
works.
don't. I mean, I have the Tor browser. I guess I could do it with that, but I use that more for marketing, and I don't even do that anymore. So
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, there are thieves out there, supply and demand. They're meeting the demand by stealing Legos
I wonder if
and
I should make sure
smuggling them.
leave my dog in my office here to sleep to protect my toys now.
I mean, do you have any rare Legos?
No, but I got rare Transformers.
Okay. Hmm.
You know,
Maybe we shouldn't announce that on the radio.
I mean, they're all
Thieves will be
totally
like,
worthless. These are cardboard.
yeah, okay.
All right, you're listening to Radio Wasteland. Coming up is, I don't know, stick around. This is Radio Wasteland.